What's up, guys? Welcome back to Unbreakable Grind. It's your guy CJ, back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be reacting to Kevin Samuel's video. She makes 50K, but he needs to make 500K. All right, so we're gonna get right into it. I haven't seen the video yet. I've seen a couple of like 30 seconds into the video. Seems like it'll get interesting. So let's get straight to it.
Is your price too high?
No, I don't feel like it's too high at all.
Okay. What do you want?
You know, I feel like I watch you and I listen to everything that you say. And I mean, I want a man that's definitely going to be able to pay the bills, like take care of me. But I still want to be able to have the option to work and do like my career, have a career and still have kids.
How many children do you want?
2.
Okay, so you want it all.
Yeah.
Where do you live?
I'm in North Georgia, like Gwinnett.
Nothing wrong with wanting it all. You know what I'm saying? As a young person, hey, I don't see anything wrong with wanting it all. Okay, yeah, let's keep going.
Okay. Well, are you currently seeing somebody right now that can pay your bills?
Nope, not at the moment.
When was the last relationship you had?
My last relationship was about 3 years ago. I was with him for 6 years.
And why didn't you guys get married for 6 years?
I met him in college and that was my first boyfriend. And so, yeah, I think we just went through a lot. And by the time we got to the end where we could possibly make something work, it just did not work.
Dang it, do not do that, man. Man, that's the worst play. Oh my God, that's the worst play ever. Like, me and my girl met in college. All right, really, that's the best time to meet somebody. You get what I'm saying? The frequency in which you can date. You know what I'm saying? And how you can just the frequency in which you can weed people out, man. And I like that you can test people out in college, man. See how smart they are. See how they can handle pressure. You get what I'm saying? I was testing girls, dude. You know what I'm saying? But that sucks, man. I feel like that wasn't intentional enough, man. Like, that was a waste of time. I don't know. Do not waste your time like that. All right, don't have these 6-year relationships, man. God, I feel bad for her on that one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if it's the guy's fault or not. I don't know. Dang it, that sucks. Anyway, let's keep going.
Okay, how much money is a man going to need to make to be able to pay all the bills for a family of 4 in Atlanta?
Probably well over 400K.
Do you care if he's black or not?
No.
Yeah, but he will. The more money men tend to make, the more racially loyal they tend to be.
That's a fact. I'm gonna be honest, all right? I'm not racist by any means, but I had to get an African American woman, all right? Or at least of African descent. I just had to. I don't think there's enough representation of very successful African American couples, okay? And I have no stigma against people that do it, but far too often we see, you know, very successful African American males being with, you know, other races of women. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, you know, when it happens too much, it almost gives a bad image for the black woman. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, you know, I hate to see I hate to see a guy with a black woman, then they upgrade to another race of a woman. When they make money, it's almost like they're saying, you know, now that I'm higher value, I can upgrade from a black woman. You know, that's kind of what it looks like. I'm not saying that's what these guys are doing, but I will say that that's something I value extremely and highly. Dating someone within my race and replicating excellence. So yeah, anyway, yeah, I'm choosing excellence. I'm choosing within my race and I'm trying to replicate excellence and pass down excellence. All right. So he is right on the money with that, for real.
Okay.
What percentage of men in this country make $400,000 a month?
Oof, probably like.
She froze on me.
Oh.
What percentage of men in this country make over $400,000?
I would say maybe 2 to 4%. Probably not a lot.
One.
It's crazy. 1%.
1%. So let's go back to what you said. I feel, which is kryptonite. Men don't care about what you feel. We think, act, and do. You want it all. At 28 years old, with no men in the pipeline.
I think she should want it all, though. You know what I'm saying? It should. You can't. She can't require it. I'm not a woman. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's okay to want it all, but you can't require it all. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you have no one in the pipeline, you might wanting it all might be unrealistic for your scenario. You know. So yeah, I wouldn't require it all if I don't have anyone in my pipeline at all. But anyway, let's see.
And you want a top 1% man. What is a man who making the kind of money you're talking about making? What do those men typically want from a woman?
Youth, beauty. That's probably it. I wouldn't say submission.
Is that the TV or something?
Yeah, probably is a
Can you turn
TV.
it down, please? Yeah. Now, the number one thing that men like that tend to want is cooperation. And a man who's making $400,000 a year, at what age do you think men make that legally?
Well over 35.
Well over 35. Men hit that financial stride between 45 and 55.
Now, this is an interesting part to me right here. They just went into how 1% of men make 400K plus, and those men are gonna be. I think he said between 45. 1 second, let me make sure.
Are you prepared to marry a man?
He said
35. Men hit that financial stride between 45 and 55.
Yeah, he's saying they're gonna be 45 to 55. I don't know, man. So first, I have no problem with her wanting the world, wanting everything, I have no problem with that. It just depends on what she has to offer. He's correct also when it comes to what men in a certain earning bracket want. They want cooperation. That is an absolute fact. I don't know how to relate to the guys who make a lot of money when they're 45 to 55, honestly. I was raised in a way where like making money was very serious. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a serious thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Survival, money was a serious thing. So I got to a financial abundance early. You know what I'm saying? I'm just now really hitting it. You know what I'm saying? But I got to it pretty early. And from my perspective, which might be different than a lot of other guys, from my perspective, I'm looking for somebody like, I already have somebody, but I was looking for somebody that could help me carry some of the load. I'm going to be honest, because you have to think about it, right? Some guys are high value men in his terminology, but they had help, meaning they had a father that gave them a lot of money to start with, or investment money, or they had a family that gave them an inheritance or something. They inherited something. I wasn't like that. So I literally created it off just the strength of my own back, right? I did all this myself, and I gave up my entire, young years and dedicated on only being financially free and financially prosperous. And with that being said, I needed someone who was going to be extremely cooperative and very, very smart. And that's why I met my girl in college. She was the valedictorian of a high school. Literally, I needed her to be extremely smart. I needed her to be African American. And I needed her to be extremely, extremely cooperative. And with all those things together, I knew that she'll be able to conquer. I knew that she'll be able to take on any challenge I threw at her. Because it wasn't enough for me to get to high salaries fast. I needed her to get to high salaries fast too, because I want to go really, really far. All right. I want to go from zero, being given nothing, to extremely far. And I needed someone who could help me throw gas on that freaking fire. And that's my perspective. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the perspective would be of someone who reaches their stride later. Maybe they have more security and they can have a different perspective than I have. But I really don't have much security. I don't feel secure at all because I'm still young and I feel like one thing could happen and I could just lose everything. So it gives me a different perspective. Now for the ladies, it's good to want the world. It's good to want everything, you know, your cake and eat it too, you know, and to think highly of yourself, but you don't want to be unrealistic. Okay. If you have no guys who you claim who are perceived to be high value in your pipeline, and you're making that a requirement, you're making salary or earnings a requirement, you probably want to rethink that because you might end up alone. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the truth of it. But let's keep going, man. Let's see what they're talking about.
Are you prepared to marry a man that's 45 years old or older?
No.
So you're a delusional black woman. You don't have any of this in your life. You don't have it in the pipeline. And not only do you...
See, oh man, he says she's delusional because she doesn't even want to marry the person in that age range. She actually is, and he's correct. Because it's very unrealistic to think that she'll meet someone her age who's going to be, let me be honest. If she did meet someone her age, they're already married. You know what I'm saying? You think about how aggressive you have to be to have abundance, you know, 400K salaries in your 20s. She's 28. To meet someone your age that's like that, they are giving up everything. In their best years, they're giving up parties and, you know, the Miami spring trips. They're giving up fraternities and frats and parties and sleeping with women. And they're giving up, man, nights out with the boys. They're giving up sports events. They're giving up all kinds of stuff. And they're just grinding, man. I promise you. You know, and those guys come off. I'm gonna be honest. The high value guy that she wants, that's her age, is married. I guarantee you, because he's so intentional that he already handled that earlier. And I guarantee you that she didn't like that guy earlier also, because these guys come off as very socially awkward at first. Me personally, I was extremely socially awkward because I had no social interaction. I literally didn't interact socially at all. I was always studying or doing an intern or freaking trying to figure or reading or something. Man, I was always just trying to grow, and I was very socially awkward. And I'm pretty sure she wouldn't have been attracted to me at all. And I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure there is a guy that is making that kind of money around her that she knew personally, but she wasn't attracted to him. You know what I'm saying? And someone caught him early. And it's all over. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that leads me to another point, man, a big point. When you catch a black guy, this is my experience, right? When you're a black guy and you are extremely serious about your financial gain and about your financial future and about your overall success in your lineage at an early age, black women don't tend to like those guys. They don't like you. Let me be honest, man. I got no play from black women. Black women would say, you know, you're a nerd. I would be friend zoned. Black women did not really like me when I was in my grinding days. They did not like me. But what's weird is I got a lot of attention from other races. Now, that doesn't mean I wanted to be with another race. I just literally couldn't land an attractive black woman. It was just impossible. It felt impossible, but I kept grinding. I kept going. And now today, black women love me today. You know what I'm saying? Because now I have a little more time to focus on my image, to focus on, you know, I have more social interaction now because I have a little more freedom. But I was very unattractive to black women at the time. And my point is black women is sometimes the guy you want might not look like what you think he should look like, right? You don't even know, like he said earlier, you don't really know the men. You know what I'm saying? You don't really know what they look like. Like the nerd that's sitting there reading, You got to look at him and see what he's using his time on. Like, he's not going to parties. He's lame. He doesn't have any tattoos. He's lame. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't go to any sporting events. He's lame, but this guy might be your high value guy. You know what I'm saying? And you better understand that this guy might even be extremely attractive once he starts focusing on himself. All right. This is very possible. You know what I'm saying? Happens all the time, but black women don't. I don't know if it's the media. I don't know if it's what's black women don't tend to be attracted to the guys that are going to be the high value guys. You know what I'm saying? And by the time they're attracted to these guys are not single. These guys aren't single anymore. They're going to probably be married. You get what I'm saying? By the time all the chicks fall just on me, dude, like really on me, like I can't go anywhere. I get chicks everywhere. Seriously. No bragging. This is just a fact because it just is what it is. By the time it got to that point, I was already married. I've been married. So you got to think about that. Anyway, let's keep going.
You want a man who's in the top 1%. You want him to be closer to your age. And then you want him to want what you want him to want. So, if this was just a math problem, it seems to me that you don't know these men.
Well, I feel like I date men that are ambitious, maybe more so in my age, and then I've started to recently date a lot older men.
But you skip past the question. You don't know these men.
No, I don't know those men that make $500K. No.
You don't even know what they typically want. They typically want a traditional wife, which means your career. Let's due respect. Why do you need it if you're not paying any bills?
I mean, I still want my own sense of like being of who I am.
Buy a dog. See,
and that's interesting. He's on an interesting point right now, honestly, because he's pretty much saying, if these high value men, these high value men want you to pretty much spill your energy, put your energy into them. Okay, they want you to be, kind of gravitate around them and gravitate around their children. All right, it's not about you and your career and all that and all your money. They want you to gravitate around them. And I think that might be the case for high value men in the age range that they typically do reach their financial stride. I think it's a lot different from my perspective. It's a lot different because I needed the woman I was with to be extremely ambitious. It wasn't enough for me to make I mean, let me be honest, man. The goals I wanted to hit, even if I got to 400K at 20 years old, I still would have needed ambition. I needed an ambitious woman who can double it and do the same. Let me be real, or do very, very close. So in my situation, I needed my girl to be extremely ambitious. She was valedictorian in high school. She was taking all the hardest classes in college. Summa cum laude, like I'm vetting her out like that. And she's pretty, like she was dang near perfect. She was freaking prom queen and freaking, I'm not even bragging. This is the truth. I was literally, I was testing women, dude. If they fail tests in college, if they can't handle pressure, if they freaking don't like hard things, if they have a terrible system, I vetted out all that crap. I vetted out, does she work out? How consistently does she go to the gym? I was vetting out all of this stuff, bro. And I was dead serious. So I say that to say that my point in saying this is I think I'm a lot different in the category of, because what she wants is someone pretty much my age. She wants someone who's my age making that kind of money. And if you want someone my age making that kind of money, you've already messed up. You already missed it. You get what I'm saying? And that's the sad part is you missed it. She probably used the time with the wrong guy. I wish I could see the guy she wasted her time with. More than likely, if I was to guess and put my money on it, this guy was fairly attractive. This guy was very entertaining. This guy looked, probably had a lot of charisma. And he came off as kind of a high value guy because he was so socially aware and stuff like that. Probably wore cool clothes, stuff like that. I'm pretty sure she probably brushed over a guy who was attracted to her, but was socially awkward, but was really on the grind. You get what I'm saying? So he's right on the money, man. I think he's right on the money with the normal age ranges. Me personally, I need my girl to be extremely ambitious. So I have no problem with her wanting everything and all that stuff. But she already missed her guy. It's no chance. He's already taken. You know, I'll leave it at that. I was about to say something else. I won't even say it. But yeah.
Careers are for outcomes. So you want it to look like, I got my own sense. Your sense can be to be a wife to a productive, competitive, successful man and a successful mother to 2 children. Why is that not enough?
Why can I not have my career and have my kids and my
Because
husband?
you're not qualified.
What makes me unqualified?
You don't know these men. You don't even know what they want. They don't want what you want traditionally. You can want it, but this is where it comes right down to what makes you not qualified.
Yeah, see, the problem is, too, she's a bit nonchalant about wanting such a top-notch guy. You get what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with wanting it all, but she really doesn't seem to have done her homework on how to really intrigue these guys, how to really actually make what she's saying a reality, or even give herself the slightest chance to really get a guy like that. So yeah, I would say to the women, you know what I'm saying? I like that you women are like this. I like that you women are hypergamous. I like that you women are wanting it all. It helps us as men, even if you're delusional. So even if you're delusional, guys, even if the women are delusional, guys, they still help us. You have to think about it. By them having these absurd ideologies as to what a man should be, they're really holding you accountable to being something absurdly great, right? Even if they're delusional and they're nowhere near worth that you being that, if you subscribe to it, it only makes you better. You get what I'm saying? And that's how I like to think. How do I take this situation and how do I take the freaking landscape and use it to my advantage? Because I'll be honest, I was getting no chicks all through my 20s almost, man. No chicks, no play, almost at all. You get what I'm saying? Women wanted all the guys doing just like her, wanted all these cold guys, bro. And I wasn't that. But what I did is I had 2 options. I could have let it beat me down, or I could have said, you know what, man? Let me tap into my nature, because at the end of the day, that's their nature making them say that. The woman's nature wants to replicate with the top guy. It's just that simple. So I can beat her up and say she's delusional, but really she's right in line with her nature. You get what I'm saying? So what I need to do and what we need to do is we need to tap into our nature. That's what I think. We need to tap into our nature and say, you know what? I'm going to shoot for being the top guy and reach to be the best version of myself that I can possibly be. You get what I'm saying? And that's only going to make you better. Even if she's delusional and once you get to the top, you don't want her because she's completely delusional, it still help you get to the top. And that's what I did, man. That's how I played these scenarios to my advantage. You get what I'm saying? I worked out every freaking day. I studied every freaking day. I learned something new every day. I did internships. I got to hundreds of thousands. I got to $100 grand freaking very young, like 21, 22, something like that. I didn't spend any freaking money. I freaking invested. I didn't get anything, bro. I just kept hustling. And I used these ideologies that women convey to my advantage. And it put me in a strong spot. And I will tell you that the tables turn, man. Like now I feel like I have that same advantage that women had. And it's very powerful. But unfortunately, young lady, you have more than likely ruined your chance to be with a high value guy that's your age. It will not happen. And if it does happen, he's playing you and tricking you out of you know what. All right. So we'll just go a little bit longer and I'll cut it off.
When I talk to these men, they don't want modern women. Again, you want your husband to be making $400,000+. Who's going to raise your children what is your career?
Media correspondent.
Okay. So when you are off on site, where are the children going to be?
Daycare.
So somebody else is going to be raising his legacy.
Mm-hmm.
No. Then he might as well marry the nanny. See, this is this modern power couple.
And that's the thing, you know, I'll start wrapping it up right there. But that's the thing, man. She's kind of nonchalant about she's kind of nonchalant about a lot of the things that are feminine, that are pertain to the feminine aspect in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like taking care of the kids. You know what I'm saying? Taking care of the kids should be a more exciting thing for a woman. You know what I'm saying? I believe so. I believe a woman should be excited to rear children and raise them and stuff like that. That's personally what I believe. I believe that's very feminine and innate in the woman's nature. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, I'm not really a fan of how she kind of brushes over a lot of the things that are quite feminine in nature, but she kind of just in a fairy tale way wants a guy to be the ultimate masculine nature, right? She wants a guy who's ultimately purely masculine, who's achieving top level salaries. Okay, and then when we discuss what she would do in the relationship, or what would she do with the kids? Where would they be when she's at work? Well, I guess they'll be with the daycare. They'll send them to daycare. So you need to be extraordinarily feminine or extraordinarily intact, or an exception when it comes to the woman nature. Just like this man you expect will be exceptional when it comes to the male nature or the masculine nature. All right. And with that being said, guys, I also want to say, even though I wanted a very ambitious young lady who did a lot of work and it was very successful, I have a child coming, guys. I have a baby girl coming, and my wife is being extremely feminine. All right, she's you know what I'm saying? I think I chose my girl perfectly. You know what I'm saying? My girl's cold as F, but I'm pretty much bragging on it at this point. But anyway, she's extremely feminine. She's happy to have the child. Both of us are 28. We met early. Yada, yada, yada. All right. I'm going to leave it there. And guys, one more thing too. All right. I know I already said that, but there's no reason. I wish I would have said this early in the video, but if you stayed, you're going to get some good information. All right. There's no reason that 1% of men should be making this kind of money. Okay. There's no reason. You can replicate this, especially Kevin Samuels defines a high value man at 100K for over 5 years. Okay. Every one of you guys can pull that off. If you just follow some of the things I give on my channel, you can pull it off. That's not hard to replicate. Okay. Now, whether you want to replicate it, I can't make you replicate it, nor shall I say you have to, or it's necessary or whatever. But I will say there should not be a desire in your heart to want to do this, to want to be high value and you not do it. That wouldn't be good because there's no reason. You know what I'm saying? You can replicate it over and over. There are jobs that pay $100,000 that have no applicants and stuff like that, like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of jobs like this. You get what I'm saying? And they're going to be more and more, but they're in certain skill sets, and you guys have to go pursue those skills. Watch some other videos if you want to see what I'm talking about, man. And with that being said, guys, I'm out of here. CJ out. Thank you for tuning back into another video, and I'm going to keep the heat coming, man. I guarantee you.